Good morning, everyone. I'm Anna, and today I want to talk about Dr. Facilier for a couple of minutes. On my most recent rewatch of The Princess and the Frog, I noticed something that really irked me. It's a little bitty detail that happens in the beginning of the movie, and it really threw things off for me. In the opening song, Down in New Orleans, Randy Newman serenades the audience as we see all the core characters and watch the goings on in New Orleans. We see Tiana on her way to work at Duke's Cafe, Prince Naveen arriving off the boat before tagging along with a street jazz band, Charlotte and Big Daddy heading over for breakfast at Duke's, and when we check in on the good doctor, he's doing a tarot reading for a sad bald man. He then mixes some powder and blows it in the man's face. All of a sudden, the man has hair and he's all confident and cool, but it's like a monkey's paw and the man is suddenly covered in hair. Oh no! Now, the part I have a problem with is, right after this happens, the shadow of Dr. Facilier, which is a spooky other side shadow with its own autonomy, is laughing with him and they high five like, oh yeah, we got him so good. We swindled him out of his money. I'm paraphrasing. But like, what is even happening here? What do the shadows want? When Dr. Facilier is being dragged to his grave by demons at the end of the film, he calls out, I promise I'll pay y'all back. I promise I'll pay y'all back! I promise! But does he mean in real life human dollars? Because for the whole movie, Dr. Facilier's plan has been to turn Naveen into a frog and kidnap him so that Lawrence can impersonate Naveen, marry Charlotte LaBeouf, and then they'll kill Big Daddy and inherit his money. Spoilers for Princess and the Frog, by the way. We know this because when they're at the wedding ceremony, Dr. Facilier holds a voodoo doll of Big Daddy with a pin poised right above his felt heart so he can kill BD on the Mardi Gras parade float as soon as the couple says I do. And then Lawrence, posing as Naveen, will get all of Big Daddy's fortune.
And we'll be splitting that juicy LaBeouf fortune right down the middle.
Which is honestly a terrible plan. He should wait like a week or two after the wedding so he can make sure Naveen is bequeathed all of his assets, but it's a kid's movie. We also know the shadows care about money because right after Facilier puts the coin they got from the bald man in his pocket, he sees Big Daddy handing out a wad of cash to a newspaper boy. The shadow then takes the coin out of Dr. Facilier's pocket, scornfully saying, "You're not successful because you don't have that type of money." Again, I'm paraphrasing. The shadow doesn't actually speak in the movie. I just found this so weird because why do the spirits need money? Are they gonna party in New Orleans? Are they paying for the cemetery plots of all the people who failed them in the past? The value of money is one of the central themes in The Princess and the Frog. Tiana is focused on getting money for her restaurant to the deficit of her personal relationships.
All you ever do is work. I told y'all she wouldn't come.
Ain't never gonna get enough of the damn thing.
Woman of your background.
Naveen is out of funds after his parents cut him off, and he plans to marry Charlotte to fix his predicament.
Mom and Dad cut you off, huh, Playboy?
Charlotte has lots of money, but that can't buy her the one thing she wants most of all: to be loved. She can buy herself dresses and beignets, but she can't buy herself a Prince Charming.
My prince is never coming.
Lawrence is jealous of Naveen's wealth and conspires against the prince because he's tired of toiling in a subservient social class.
You've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother.
Aren't you tired of living on the margins while all those fat cats in their fancy cars don't give you so much as a sideways glance?
And Dr. Facilier's whole scheme is focused on money.
It's the green, it's the green, it's the green you need.
It's central to every single character's journey.
Rich people, poor people, all got dreams.
So I think it makes sense that the evil shadow realm is also caught up in monetary pursuits.
You and I both know the real power in this world ain't magic. It's money.
When I watched the movie as a kid, I thought Facilier was trying to steal souls, and that was what he needed to obtain in order to pay back the other side. But that's not supported by the narrative. Facilier kills Ray, and the spirits are like, whatever, it's a bug. But I'm pretty sure that bug had a soul. I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, actually, Anna, they don't care about money. They care about stealing souls, and you would know that if you watched the rest of the movie, because there's a scene where he tells the voodoo friends that his goal is to overthrow Big Daddy so he can run the town and the voodoo creatures will have all the souls. It's not really clear what they want because it is a children's movie, and Disney didn't want to explicitly state that everyone in New Orleans is going to hell. And yeah, that's a valid point. But here's the thing about that. In the aforementioned scene, Dr. Facilier is asking for help from his shadow friends after the real Prince Naveen escaped, and he needs to recapture him. Doc comes in during that scene and says, "Hey guys, I'm already in debt to you pretty deep, but if you get the frog back for me, I'll give you all these souls."
We'll have all the wayward souls your dog little heart's desire.
But that made me question, what was he going to use to repay his debt if the soul thing was an idea he just came up with? Do they have a voodoo payment plan? I think the only logical conclusion is that they are after Benjamin Franklin's. These are actual demons from hell and they want to control the American economy. But the thing that's most upsetting to me is that Dr. Facilier actually does have magic. Like, he can turn Naveen into a real frog, and he can make Lawrence look like Naveen with a charm, and he can make a working voodoo doll. Or at least I assume it's functional. We never get to see it in action, but he seems pretty confident that he's going to kill Big Daddy. He creates the vision Tiana sees of her fully formed restaurant, which is probably an illusion or something, because he blows the magic powder in her eyes to make it happen, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, my question is, why does he laugh with the shadow when the man gets covered in fur? If the main motivation of both Facilier and the Shadow Realm is money, and he can do actual real magic, why doesn't he just do magic? Why does he need to scam people? He could just have a fully operational magic solutions shop that works, and then he could make a ton of money, and people would be happy with the results of his products, so they are more likely to come back again in the future and recommend his products to their friends. Like, hey Shadow Guy, you may have gotten 1/4 out of that furry man, but he is never coming back, and he's going to give you a bad review on Yelp. You already have a niche product, why do you have to make it a monkey's paw thing? Voodoo magic isn't known for being like a genie or a bad faith interpretation of magic. Just give the populace functional charms that work for a limited amount of time, like the fairy godmother from Cinderella. Here's a hair potion, but it only works for 2 days and then you need to buy more of it and you can only get it from me. That way they keep coming back to you later down the line because they think you can solve all of their problems, but really you're creating the demand and supplying the magical goods. So yeah, Dr. Facilier and his shadow monsters are bad at capitalism. Bye!